Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is the September whole month wrap up. I figured there's no point in doing the last week of September first, and then the next video being the monthly wrap up, because I'm going to cover some stuff that would have been covered in the weekly wrap up anyway. So let's get straight into it. So, because otherwise this video will be a million minutes long. It'll be long. So, I want to really quickly talk about my project for the month, which was SelfPub September. So, I went into SelfPub September just going, I want to broaden my horizons and stop just reading, Jim Butcher, Brandon Sanderson, and a couple of other authors. If you look back at my Goodreads history, it's probably like more than half Butcher and Sanderson. So what I wanted to do was try and broaden my horizons, try and read other authors, read some new genres, or not new genres, but read some genres that are kind of outside of what I would normally read. What I found when I undertook this challenge was that Ryan Cahill's books, which were the first self-published books that I've read since coming back to reading in 2021, were not a fluke, and that really a lot of self-pub, especially the stuff that you've heard about from other booktube channels, it's all great. It's all really high quality, good stuff. But the thing that that really that really came across was how diverse self-pub can be. So I read, superhero sci-fi novels. I read proper classic fantasy with songs and everything. And then I read, a wuxia inspired fantasy. And I've just started another book that I'll talk about in a minute. But really, really, incredible diversity. Absolutely loved this month. And Kindle Unlimited has come in clutch, meaning that I paid my one subscription to Kindle Unlimited and was able to read. I started a 5th book this month, and all of that was through that one subscription. Didn't pay a penny more. Actually, that's technically a lie, because I did buy the physical edition of Way of Idan. And I did buy the audiobook version of Never Die, but I was able to switch between the Kindle Unlimited version, the physical version, the audiobook version in some cases, for every book, and just really enjoyed it. So while I don't want to throw money at Jeff Bezos any more than I already do, I do think that Kindle Unlimited was really worthwhile for me this month. I don't know if I will continue it once I've finished the 2 books that are on Kindle Unlimited that I really want to read. But I am hoping to add some more self-pub stuff again next month, if I've got time between my planned reads. So maybe I will end up just keeping it until I'm not reading 1 or 2 books a month, and then maybe it's not worth having anymore, and I'd be better off just buying a physical version of the book. Next up, so that's kind of my thoughts on SelfPub September. Essentially, everybody should read more SelfPub. I would highly recommend SelfPub September to other people, and I'm going to do it again next year. I mean, that's that's very much wishful thinking that I'll still be running the channel next year. I really hope so. I've managed a month and a bit now. It's my 2nd monthly wrap up, and so if I am booktubing in September next year, then watch the space for SelfPub September 2, Kindle Unlimited Boogaloo. I don't know. What books did I read this month? So I read 4 books in total. Well, 3 books, 1 novella, and I started a 4th book. So I started the month off with Way of Idan from YouTube's own Philip Chase. This is a classic. I would say, I said, I think in the review, kind of like it was a modern take on a classic fantasy. And what I would say almost now is thinking about it, maybe it's a modern fantasy, but with a classic twist. So it's got everything that you expect from modern fantasy. So intricate plot, interesting characters, flawed, interesting characters, and incredible world building. But you also have some of the tropes of classic fantasy. So you have the songs, you have the, the kind of epic quest stuff. And I just really enjoyed it. I think it's a great book. I'm really looking forward to reading the sequel, and now the third book is out. I could technically just finish the trilogy. I do have reading plans for October and for November. However, December is currently wide open. What I want to do is have like a series in review update, maybe in December, and then start doing those on a 3 monthly basis, but look through all the series I'm reading and tell you where I'm at. I really enjoy when Abby Salter does those videos, so I want to do them myself because I have no original ideas. So looking back down at my notes, the next book I read was Wistful Ascending by J.C.M. Byrne. That was the superhero science fiction space opera that I talked about. This was a really, really good book as well. I have to say, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but every book I read this month, I ranked 4 stars. None of them completely blew me away. The Ice was very, very close to being a 5-star, and I actually was going to say Wistful Ascending and Way of Dan were close to being a 5-star. But The Ice was did I actually give 5 stars to The Ice? We'll never know. I couldn't look it up. I don't have anything that has the internet, so we'll never know. So yeah, Wistful Ascending, really, really loved it. It's about a superhero, kind of, or ex-superhero, who was then kind of joined in a space military, and then after a kind of, he does like a favour for the government, and after that is allowed to retire, and he retires out to this sentient space station in the middle of non-aligned space, and it's kind of about his like life on that station. There's a lot of like that daily life aspect to it, which I really enjoyed. Again, there's three sequels out to Wistful Ascending. I actually found out about it because Andrew Watson profiled the 4th book in his like books to watch. But yeah, so there's 3 more books out in the Hybrid Helix series, which Wistful Ascending is the first book, and I'm absolutely going to try and slot one of those in where I can. Not in November, because in November I'll be reading a sci-fi series, so I don't know if I want to go sci-fi. But next month I'm going to be reading, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm not going to be reading sci-fi or fantasy. So I'm going to try and split in maybe 1 or 2, 1 sci-fi, 1 fantasy. We'll see how the month goes, because this month was a great month for becoming obsessed with video games and a very bad month for reading. After Wistful Ascending, I read that I actually started Never Die by Rob J. Hayes. I did not finish Never Die until today, which is why this video is like 7 hours later than normal, because I basically spent the whole evening marathoning the last 30% of Never Die. But I read in between that The Ice by Ryan Carhill, his new novella. I read that in a single day. Absolutely loved that as well. And then, yeah, next thing that I did was finish Never Die today. So that'll be unless I have a great reading day tomorrow, unexpected, unless I do have that, I will probably not finish the next book that I've started, which is Voice of War by Zach Argyle. Let me hold it up. I've got the Kindle here. So I've started Voice of War by Zach Argyle. I'm about 2 or 3 chapters in. I wanted to have started it before I recorded this video. So basically, I powered through the end of Never Die, and then I started straight into Voice of War. Never Die is super, super interesting. I completely forgot to talk about it. Never Die is basically... it reminds me a lot of the Star Wars movie Rogue One, where you've kind of got this group of characters who are coming together to work for this, to work on a goal. In this case, they have to kind of like cross a country and kill an emperor. It's really cool. And each of the characters has like a specific, chi power. It is genuinely a really interesting novel, and I loved it. There will be a review. I was going to record the review straight after this one, but my wife wants to go to bed, and my voice is apparently annoying when I record these videos. So, yes, started Voices of War. So far, really interested in the magic system, and the opening chapter, the start of the novel, really, really got my interest. So can't wait to read more of that one as soon as I finish this video. Instead of recording my next 2 back to back as I was planning, I'm going to read some more Voice of War, I think. So let's talk about my book of the month. Now, I'm not going to do... I'm going to do book of the month every month, but I'm not going to do like a worst book of the month or anything like that, because like I don't think that's very useful. I only read books that I really enjoy. If I don't enjoy them, I probably won't talk about them on the channel. But my book of the month is... drumroll. I don't have a drumroll effect. I'm not a good video editor. It is Wistful Ascending by JCM Byrne. I basically liked all of the books that I read this month pretty evenly. Ryan Cartledge had a bit of a leg up in that I'd already read, 3 massive novels and 2 novellas by him, and was really in the groove of reading his books. But Wistful Ascending came to me at a time that I was like... I'd not read any sci-fi in months. I was really interested in a change, and also, I talked about it a little bit on my Comics for Fantasy Readers video, but I'm a massive comic book fan, and I really, really, I really, really liked the superhero aspect to Wistful Ascending. I'm not going to just read superhero novels forever and ever, because I get a lot of that fixed from comics, but Wistful Ascending really surprised me. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. So, if there's one book that I can really seriously recommend you from this month, I would say Wistful Ascending. Although Never Die also came kind of close, because Never Die was something really interesting and different. So I'd not really read, I've not read a wuxia style novel before. It is fantasy, but the kind of Asian inspiration to it was really interesting, and I'll talk more about that in my review next week. So look forward to it. Best performing video of September was previously mentioned Comics for Fantasy Readers. So that is, I think we're over 60 views now, which isn't much to most booktubers, but for me that's double or triple what some of my videos have gotten. I really enjoyed making the video. I think that The Last God, or book 1 of the Felspire Chronicles, or the DC doesn't seem to really know how they want to talk about it. But The Last God is beautiful to look at, incredibly well written, and has really made me want to seek out Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman stuff as well, because I'm a big Superman fan, and I'd really like to read more of his writing, essentially. So yeah, would really recommend that one. I'm thinking about doing another recommendation soon. I'm trying to kind of think about whether I want to talk about the Conan comics from the early 2000s that I was a big fan of. but I might in fact try and find a really cool sci-fi recommendation to give. Next up, so the last thing I want to talk about this month is my worst performing video, which is interesting because, so if you don't count the wrap up videos, which maybe not worth counting because you're probably only going to watch a wrap up if you're invested in my content. So my worst performing video was last week's wrap up. But my worst performing video that was kind of tailor-made content for the channel was in fact one that I thought would do well, which was my Piranesi review. So Piranesi's very popular on BookTube, so I kind of assumed that there would be people that'd be interested in reading it. Although thinking back on it, I wonder if it's my videos being drowned out by bigger creators who have that bigger audience and obviously can speak with more authority on the book on books. So that could be it, really. Coming up on the channel, so I'm going to reveal my October TBR. Although I have, I think, already told everyone what it's going to be in previous videos. I'm going to do a specific video talking about my October TBR. What I think I'm going to do is do these books will get read like short list, and then maybe a long list including other books that I might want to start. I'm going to do another comics for book readers post video. I almost was like, oh, I could do a manga, but like there are enough booktubers who talk about manga, you don't need to listen to me. And then there is the Never Die review coming, and there'll be a review for Voice of War, unless for some reason I decide that I want to DNF it. But I've not DNF. I put a book on pause earlier this year and did not finish it. I've not DNF'd a book since. I do have the second book in the Alex Vera series by Benedict Jacker that I have now renewed so many times I cannot renew it anymore, and it has to go back to the library in 3 weeks, so maybe that will get rid in October. And the books that I'm reading in October I have to pick up from the library, so I'm kind of waiting for those to come in. So that's everything, really. I will record a very short YouTube short video talking about The Creator, a sci-fi film that I saw last night. But other than that, and that will probably be up by the time this is live, so go watch that if you want to. But other than that, it's been another great month on BookTube. Thank you so much for watching along. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, drop a comment and tell me, how I can improve. If you have read any of the books that I've read, please put a comment below and tell me what you thought. And if you have added my book of the month, Wistful Ascending, to your TBR, let me know. Put is there a spaceman? Or there's a superhero emoji. Put a superhero emoji down below, and I will talk to you next week. Have a good weekend. Bye.